At first, we have some opposition from the senior members. One of the church council meeting in Singapore, usually people call him Money Uncle, he and myself introduced this one. At that time, presiding at the council was Gage, 10 years from later His Holiness Matthews the First. So he said, why you have not started that? He scolded everybody, and he said he will come for the first meeting, and Singapore people agree to start. And the second youth camp was held in KL at St. John's Institution with the kind permission of the authorities of the school. Third one was Gethsemane Cheras, fourth in Singapore. Fifth one is also in Gethsemane afterwards, I don't know what.
Look forward to the most is definitely catching up with your friends. Even the ones in KL, it's like now you get to stay overnight and talk. Otherwise you're just meeting for an hour or two. So you really get to bond much longer. Catching up with friends was definitely a main highlight. I know my first camp, I think I was forced because my mom forces all of us to perform. So I think my first camp I had to sing Karma Chameleon alone in the guest night in the guitar. So yeah, that was my first ever performance. But in terms of memorable, I would probably say when I did the breakdance in PD guest night. Yeah, that was probably the memorable one. More important is memorable is because right after that breakdance, that was the first time my parents saw me breakdance, and my mom came up to me and said, "Man, you do that again." Like, okay. Everybody was giving me high five. I came to my mom. Don't ever do that again. Oh. Wow.
Especially for us in Singapore, the Malaysian camps were always fun, right? We got to see like Port Dickson camps, and there's also like, although I was not part of it, there was also the Malaysian Airlines camp once upon a time where they went this place that was like the training area for Malaysian Airlines, and they used that. So I wasn't part of that, but I heard a lot of stories about it. What I would always look forward to is definitely my friends, meeting them again after a whole year, especially those from Malaysia. And, I also look forward in a funny way to the new places that we might get to see, because a lot of times the camps will not run in the same place as the last one. So then we'll go down there and see like, hey, what's this new place like? What are the facilities and things like that? What are we going to do here, right? So that was also quite fun.
One of the very, very important things, which has been a feature of all the camps, that there's always opportunity to have the campus to participate in confession. I think really helped to prepare for it, and in a different atmosphere from what you would be normally doing in a parish with your parents and all that. I think that was a very special and important experience. 1974, when I came to KL for the tail end of the camp, because at that time I was not like officially a camper, and like DM George Hudson was here, he was our previous vicar. We had a tri-mass Mudumel Kurbana on the Sunday at the end of the camp in the church, and then he asked me to play, and it was not an electronic organ. It was one of those that you had to pedal them up in the air, so you really had to work hard, like pedaling like crazy. And actually, so the first time that I played for the whole Kurbana was actually in the church in Kuala Lumpur, not in Singapore. Not many people know this. So you learn a lot of things about yourself from because you're spending time, you're like spending in very close contact and communication with people your age, and so you learn things about yourself that you might not in your day-to-day interactions with your friends.
Club religion is a very personal journey, and that's the faith journey. Lessons at camp about challenges, Ajahn would share that. Ajahn used to use these cards. I don't know if we still use cards. It's black and language, for the language as well. Yes. Yeah. And I think those were one of the most raw sessions any camp would have. No matter how action you were, like I'm so macho, I'm the most chill person in the world, you would see people really connect with themselves, really be able to introspectively see themselves through a picture. And then there was never a session without tears. That never, you'd have sobbing, breakdown. And then to see people come together and, foster, will hug each other and tell them it's okay.
So even when Achin was going out for services, Achin was going outstation for services, we used to jump the bandwagon with him and go, go for service with him, all this kind of thing. Maybe became altar boys and all thing. All this, slowly molded us to join the altar and then go with that church. So that was all our molded, slowly became our mold, right? So that was an aspect of it. My years, I think, like most of them who are here, I will always say that our support system came towards.
How has just all those impacted your life?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot to.
You okay, breather? Expand with them.
Yeah, I mean, we don't think about this thing until somebody asks you. And when you ask, sometimes it's immense to come up with a simple answer. Yeah, so this is emotion. There's a lot of emotions in it as well, But it's good. In many ways, it's good. Yeah. Why I feel emotional is we all grow up, we lose some friends, we lose some friendship. They're still there, but your friendship is not the same anymore. So you grow different. So sometimes when you go through a certain phase, certain things in life, you think, I wish I was there again. I could enjoy this again. Yeah, but things change, Everybody goes in time. We grow up together. Everything changes. So sometimes when you think about it, it affects you in certain ways. But to me, it's a good phase.
I try to do something that I've not been able to do much. It's try to keep it as short as possible. Look at this. That's all I can say. Look at this. This literally stemmed from camp. All this. And not only spiritually, but communal. What we have here is real. We all can, we genuinely love and care for each other. There's a genuine sense of love and care for each other that all of us experience with each one of us. And we are from various backgrounds. All of us have our own problems, our own responsibilities, our own issues. But there will never come a time when we don't want to see each other or we don't want to spend time. If there's an opportunity for us to be with each other, we'll jump at the very, very instant.
That I think here in Malaysia and Singapore that we have is that we have Philip Achin. Philip Achin was, in a way, we don't really realize that he was a glue that all of us was keeping us together.
And in one way or another, the reason why all of us are still men for our camp.
I can
Philip Achin played a very, very huge role in that.
That was really impacted me was in 1986 Annual Orthodox Youth Camp, which was held in Malaysia. And that was a time when we were actually taken to a charity home. It was a home where we never knew what our excursion trip on that day was all about. Libachan organized this, and we got onto a bus. We ended up at the charity home. We were all divided into groups. We, as part of the boys, men, we were all divided to do outdoor work. Our job was actually to help the folks in the charity home to actually have them to stay in a better home, and for that we had to actually fill in a land with soil which was over piled up in a corner, and in order for them not to have any dengue fevers or any mosquitoes infestations. So we had to actually work hard, get our feet and our hands into those soils, which is a sewage dump, and fill that land. It was a very, very big experience for all of us who went for the camp. We just did not know where we were going. But when we reached that place, and when we were told what the job is, we just stuck our hands into the job and did it. It actually changed my life from then on, because that actually created me to become more humble, because we were first time in my life to actually see a blind man, deaf, dumb, autistic, people with cerebral palsy, people who are without any limbs, and it was just among all of us at that point of time. As in, if you stand in one place, you have 10 of them around you, and I've just never been in that kind of experience before, and that created me to understand what humbleness is all about.
I have confidence in our people. What that is said, Mary's stage in the room. Mary's blessings is all there. When we had nothing, there is not a single saving in the church. We build up all these things.